Glitter Woman, 2 for 2 this year, goes her mile 70 yards in a minute 39 and 1. Very, very fast time for Glitter Woman Sunday down in South Florida. All right, in Maryland, on Saturday, that storm that hit the mid-Atlantic coast wiped out Laurel. So we have no race from Saturday for you, and they're hopefully going to make up the Jamila Stakes this coming weekend. But on Sunday, they got back on track. We've got a 1.25 mile a little stake for you, the St. Brendan Stakes, a $30,000 added purse for the older horses. Entertaining little race. Here's Dave Rodman giving us the call.
And they're off in the St. Brendan Stakes. Good even start, and Great Silver Fleet nudged along a bit to get to the front, and Blaze Winter up on the outside showing good early speed as well. Colonial Secretary no hurry to go on with the top two and settles in nicely off that lead. Perfect to a T is racing in fourth. Set Ablaze saves ground, and Valid Chances last of all to the first turn. 2 leaders, Blaze Winter on the outside, Great Silver Fleet. They're about 4 clear to Colonial Secretary, the favorite in third. Perfect to a T, relaxing down inside there in fourth position. 2 more lengths and Set Ablaze, and Valid Chance is the trailer. On to the 7-ace mark now. Blaze Winter edges out just a little bit from Great Silver Fleet in second. Colonial Secretary a hard-held third at this point, and Perfect to a T down inside, up close fourth, just 3 from the lead. Valid Chance is second last, only about 6 lengths from the front. Set Ablaze is in the back of the pack. Sensible fractions up here for Blaze Winter, who leads it to Great Silver Fleet and Perfect to a T. Colonial Secretary is next. 2 more lengths, so go back to Valid Chance racing second last, and Set Ablaze is the trailer. 4.5 furlongs from home, and Blaze Winter leads the way. Great Silver Fleet tracking along second spot, Perfect to a T. Colonial Secretary will have a clear run, only 2 lengths on the front now. Colonial Secretary begins his bid, and Colonial Secretary and Great Silver Fleet simply pass right on by Blaze Winter with 3 furlongs to go. It's Great Silver Fleet and Colonial Secretary with Perfect to a T now into third. Blaze Winter retreats. Valid Chance got to do better and Set Ablaze. Great Silver Fleet first to the quarter pole. Colonial Secretary now under the whip. Great Silver Fleet begins to take off from Colonial Secretary, who's struggling along in second. Perfect to a T out of the center of the racetrack. Great Silver Fleet accelerates. Perfect to a T. Colonial Secretary down inside third. Furlong marker now. Great Silver Fleet. Perfect to a T. Colonial Secretary. Great Silver Fleet leads the way. Perfect to a T, giving it a good try, but Great Silver Fleet is too much. Edgar Prado and Great Silver Fleet to score. Perfect to a T and Colonial Secretary.
Great Silver Fleet, Edgar Prado in the irons, 8-5, sent off and wins off by 3. Just gallop this field into submission. That's what you got to do. One of these long marathon races, put on the front end, just slow it down, and nobody's going to catch you. Perfect to a T. Colonial Secretary, they'll get second and third here. Great Silver Fleet goes the 1.25 miles in 2 minutes, 3 seconds flat. Also, another cancellation from this past Saturday was out at Turfway. Again, they got 2 races in, and then the track was just deemed unsafe, so we're going to have to make up the Dust Commander handicap most probably this coming weekend, as Turfway has been beleaguered right through January and now into February with either frozen track or snow or a track unsafe to race on. So we'll move along and go down to Oaklawn Park, where on Saturday afternoon we had 3-year-olds going postward in the Mountain Valley Stakes. 6 furlongs, $50,000 in added purse money, and we got a nice 3-year-old here that you're well familiar with. Here's Terry Wallace with the call.
They're in the gate, and they're off in the Mountain Valley. Smoke Glacken quickly challenges for the lead with My Dad Doc, and they've already put 3 lengths on Pro Song in third, followed by Total Hearsay and at the rail near the bank. And a real challenge in the early stages here. Smoke Glacken at the rail, My Dad Doc right alongside. 6 lengths back to Pro Song third, followed by near the bank and Total Hearsay. They get through the opening quarter, 22 seconds flat at the rail. It's Smoke Glacken leading at a half. My Dad Doc beginning to fall back slightly. 4 lengths back to Pro Song in third, then near the bank and Total Hearsay. And on the turn, Smoke Glacken has opened the lead up to 1.5 lengths now, 2 lengths. Closing in now on My Dad Doc is stablemate Pro Song, and here they come into the stretch of the Mountain Valley. The half in 46-1 is Smoke Glacken leading away. Pro Song now engineers the challenge to the outside. My Dad Doc is third. At the rail near the bank, fourth with a furlong to go. Smoke Glacken leads it. Perrette looks back and decides they better ask him because Pro Song's coming to the outside. Smoke Glacken's being ridden now. Pro Song challenging, but in the end it'll be Smoke Glacken winning it by 2.5. Pro Song running second and near the bank third.
Well, sent off at 1-9. Smoke Glacken, a hopeful winner from last year, back in action again, draws away by 3 lengths in hand. The question, of course, on everyone's mind, and perhaps trainer Henry Carroll's as well, is how far will this horse go? Of course, he did win the hopeful by 9 lengths last summer at 7 panels. He has come back now with 2 6-furlongs victories. Very strange by trainer Carroll. He won the Black Gold at 3/4 earlier for his debut in '97 at the Fairgrounds, and now comes right back in a 6-furlong race, the Mountain Valley. You would think that trainer Carroll would look for a 7-furlong or a mile race just to see how far this guy is going to go. He's an easy winner, as you saw there at the 3/4, with absolutely no one giving him any kind of a battle whatsoever. Craig just giving him a few taps to keep his mind on business as he strolls to the handy 3-length score. Will he go back to the Fairgrounds and try the Derby down there, or will he stay at Oaklawn and try some of their races leading up to the Arkansas Derby? Interesting horse here. Smoke Glacken, and a big gray as well. Pro Song and Near the Bank, they're second and third under the wire. Smoke Glacken cruising, literally, these 6 furlongs in 1:11 and 4. All right, more 3-year-olds on Sunday afternoon in the Rosebud Stakes at Oaklawn. A flat mile would have been a spot for Smoke Glacken, maybe. $40,000, the guaranteed purse on the old Rosebud. Again, in Hot Springs, Terry describes it for us.
And they're off in the old Rosebud. A step slow away from the gate was Brassy and Sunny, and there goes Star of Halo to the rail. In the middle of the track, looks good on paper. The outside Phantom on Tour. Demand Deposit is next, and at the back in the early going, it's Brassy and Sunny as they head for the turn. Longest price on the board, looks good on paper. Looks good in front right now by a length and a half. Star of Halo to the rail, alongside of him the favorite Phantom on Tour. They go past the opening quarter in 23 and 4. Looks good on paper, leading by 2. Phantom on Tour, Star of Halo like a team second and third, another 2 lengths back. Brassy and Sunny, and Calvin Braille gets through into 4th. And the trailer right now is Demand Deposit. Moving down the backstretch, looks good on paper. Still traveling along nicely as the pace setter here. Phantom on Tour now taking a little bit of an edge on Star of Halo, second and third. Past a half in 48 and 1. They head for the final turn. Looks good on paper, still the leader, but now beginning to bear down on him, and Phantom on Tour and Star of Halo. It's about 4 lengths back to Brassy and Sunny as they head for the final turn. Looks good on paper, leading it. Phantom on Tour now set to pounce to the outside. Star of Halo still looking for some room at the rail. Calvin Braille has Brassy and Sunny now in gear. They go past 3/4 in 1:13 and 3, and here they come into the short stretch of the old Rosebud. The leader still looks good on paper. Phantom on Tour alongside the challenge. Star of Halo is still looking for some room. Brassy and Sunny got out badly on the turn. Might be looking for some good going out in the middle. But Phantom on Tour now has the lead. Star of Halo has to go to the middle. It's Phantom on Tour. Here's Star of Halo under a rousing ride coming on. Phantom on Tour, Star of Halo at the wire. The old Rosebud to Phantom on Tour by a half. Star of Halo was second. Looks good on paper and third.
Phantom on Tour, 3 to 5 shot here. Gets the half-length score. Larry Melancon in the irons for Cal Partee and Lynn Whiting. They bought this horse privately. It won the Foolish Pleasure down at Calder in November, and they purchased this horse, and now it brought him to Oaklawn and got him ready for his 3-year-old debut, and could be a very nice one. He's 4 out of 5 lifetime. Star of Halo looks good on paper. They'll be second and third in the running. But Phantom on Tour, maybe have a tour with Smoke Glacken a bit later on, goes his mile in 1:40 and 2. All right, let's take our first break here. When we come out the break, we've got our action from the fairgrounds this week, Mardi Gras week down in the Big Easy. We've also got racing action from Santa Anita, so we're going to take a look at the final leg of the La Cañada Series, that race itself. Back to New York, Big A's got a good 3-year-old race on Saturday and 3-year-old fillies on Sunday. And a little bit later on, we'll give you our 1997 dual qualifiers. So a lot more to come. Don't go away. Be right back after this.
You can watch Track Facts with Tom Amello and Nick Kling every Wednesday and Friday at 9 a.m. and Sundays at 10:30 a.m. on the OTB Television Network. Tom and Nick will give you the inside track with topics like horses to watch for, juvenile breeding, track profile, and connections. Informative and entertaining, that's Track Facts with Tom and Nick, Wednesday and Friday at 9 a.m. and Sundays at 10:30 a.m. right here on the OTB Television Network. $25,000 could be yours when you enter the Capital OTB Handicap Challenge. The Teletheater, 711 Central Avenue, will hold this unique 2-day contest on Saturday and Sunday, March 8th and 9th. Entry fee is $100 per person, with 100% of all entry fees distributed based on 250 entries. And Capital OTB will guarantee the winner $8,000, along with hotel accommodations and entry fee to the final round of the Penn National Handicap Tournament in October. Registration will be Saturday, February 22nd from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Teletheater. For more information, call 374-1446.
In New Orleans on Saturday afternoon at our fairgrounds, we've got the Fairgrounds Breeders' Cup Stakes for you. A nice turf race here for our older horses at a mile and a furlong. $150,000, the added purse money on the race. In New Orleans, here's Tony Bentley with the call of the Breeders' Cup.
And they're off. Scott's Scoundrel from the outside, De Bull. Now moves up Western Trader. On the inside is next, and farther out is Nightcapper. As they come to the wire the first time, Western Trader has the lead. Scott's Scoundrel is next. De Bull is third. Then comes Snake Eyes racing fourth and Nightcapper fifth on the outside. My Mogul is sixth. Tough Broad next in seventh, and Beaver's Nose. They turn down the back straight. Western Trader has the lead. Scott Scoundrel on the outside is second to neck. Double at the rail. Then comes Snake Eyes up on the outside. Nightcapper is fifth, about 5 off the lead. My Mogul is sixth. Then Tough Broad. Beaver's Nose is eighth, past the half-mile pole. And to the far turn they go. Western Trader is moving well on the lead. Scott Scoundrel stays right with that one. De Bull at the rail. On the outside is Snake Eyes. Nightcapper is next, followed by My Mogul, Tough Broad, and Beaver's Nose. Here they are now at the top of the straight, and it's Scott Scoundrel on next. Snake Eyes on the outside. Western Trader next. De Bull is fourth. Nightcapper on they go now to the eighth pole. Snake Eyes has the lead in neck. It's a game. Scott Scoundrel, though, on the inside in the final 16th. Snake Eyes on the outside will prevail in the Breeders' Cup.
Snake Eyes, Robbie Alvarado in the irons. A length score, the 117-pound high weight, and sent off. The 3-2 favorite gets all the money at the fairgrounds, beating the local hero, Scott Scoundrel, who again is on the board, just missing by a length there to get the money. Couldn't catch up with Snake Eyes. De Bull finishing in the third position. Snake Eyes, mile and eighth on Saturday, a minute 53 and 2. Okay, now on Sunday afternoon in New Orleans, we've got the Fairgrounds Sales Derby. Mile and a 16th 3-year-old race, $30,000, the added purse. 4 3-year-olds that were purchased at the sales the prior year. So an opportunity for successful bidders perhaps to come back the following year and show what their 3-year-olds can do here in this little derby. Again, in the Big Easy is Tony Bentley with the call.
They're off. Tricky alertly on the inside. Kizia now Benson Park Road, and from the outside, Blushing KD as they head to the first turn. It's Tricky with the lead. On the outside is Blushing KD. 4 lengths back, Benson Park Road and GW's Band. Heads apart. Then comes Litvak. Gizia. Now Sexton Crybaby. Captain Sid is 7th. Down the backstretch, Tricky at the rail. In front by a neck on the outside, Blushing KD. It's 3 lengths back, GW's Band. And Litvak at the rail. Then comes Benson Park Road in 5th. 3 lengths back, Kizia and Crybaby, Captain Sid. They round the far turn, and there goes Blushing KD. On to take the lead, Tricky. Litvak is 3rd, and then comes GW's Band. At the top of the stretch, Blushing KD. In front by 4. Tricky is next. Litvak on the outside, then GW's Band. Blushing KD continues to pull away from the field. Litvak is next, and Tricky all alone. Blushing KD.
Blushing KD, a 3-year-old filly. She just destroys this bunch. There wasn't too much coming out of that sale, was there? 20, 22 lengths, whatever. Lonnie Mesh in the iron, sent off at 3-1, and she wins from New Orleans to Shreveport. Litvak and Tricky, yeah, they'll get a piece of it, but they could have gone around 6 times and weren't going to catch this filly. Where is she going to run next? I don't care who she goes against. Blushing KD. She gets her mile and a 16th and 1:42 and 2. Nice filly. On Tuesday afternoon at the fairgrounds, the Mardi Gras handicap was run. 7.5 furlong scheduled turf race. We've got a purse of $60,000 and added monies. Again, to the fairgrounds, Tony Bentley describing the race for us.
Field for the 17th running of the Mardi Gras handicap are sent on their way. All 9 came out as one to a perfect beginning. Born Wild from the inside. Aficionado now taken back. Mr. Herbert up on the outside. Even wider still is Charmin as they move through that first turn. Then it's Mountain Skier, Really Rare, always a classic on the outside. Winnie to You, and trailing the field, Unruled. Down the backstretch, Born Wild leads them by a half length. Charmin's got Aim from second, a break of 1.5, running in third. Mr. Herbert, 4th on the outside, position nicely, just about 2 lengths from the lead, Always a Classic. And then towards the inside, getting a sweet journey is Aficionado. Really Rare on the outside, Mountain Skier. And as they move to that far and final turn, Winnie to You and Unruled trail as a team. Born Wild is backing up from the inside now. Charmin has taken the lead, but Always a Classic looms the danger midway through the turn. A quarter in 24 and 2, a half of 48 and 1 as they get to the head of the lane in the Mardi Gras handicap. It's the Canadian bred Always a Classic on the outside with the lead. Charmin is battling in from the rail. Aficionado is joining them, and on the extreme outside, here comes Really Rare like an express train, but it's Always a Classic holding them back. Always a Classic from the inside. Aficionado is coming like an express train, and look out on the outside. Always a Classic to win the Mardi Gras handicap.
Well, our apologies there to Mike Dimrick, who did call the race, Tony having Mardi Gras off down at the fairgrounds. Always a Classic didn't take the day off, though, did he? Gets the nose victory. Eddie Martin Jr. on board Always a Classic, a half-brother to Sky Classic. Samson Farm, Mark Frosted, the connections aboard this nice Canadian. Aficionado in the 2nd spot there actually had his head in front for a stride or 2 as they approached the wire. Always a Classic came back and got the win. Aficionado settles for the 2nd spot. and Really Rare finishing in the show position. Always a classic, 7.5 panels on Fat Tuesday in New Orleans goes the distance in 1:31 and 2. All right, now from New Orleans, let's move out to Phoenix, Arizona. Turf Paradise had a very big day on Saturday afternoon. A couple of races we've got for you. First up, the Turf Paradise Breeders' Cup handicap for our older horses on the Phoenix lawn, going 1 mile and a 16th, $100,000. The added money in the race to Phoenix, Arizona, and Luke Krybosh's call of the Breeders' Cup Stakes.
Off and running in that Turf Paradise Breeders' Cup. It's Catch and Release and Ruffner breaking on top, joined by Fairweather Sailor. French Wine broke well, settles down, racing in 4th. Passiano up to join the early fray in 5th. And Big Sky Chester. And by that, Inner City is 5 off the pace early, followed by Felon at the inside rail. The gap of 4 back to the late runners. Dr. Trotter and Kafai Ham at the back of the pack. Past the stands with 1 lap to go. Ruffner is cleared off now. Ruffner cutting the corner, leading it by 1.5 to Fairweather Sailor. Catch and Release at the inside rail is 3rd. Passiano 2.5 off the pace in 4th. Big Sky Chester racing in 5th. French Wine at the rail is 6th. Inner City is 6th off the pace, racing in 7th. And it's Felon in a gap of 4. Farther back to Kafai Ham. And Dr. Trotter, the trailer, opening quarter, clicked off in 23 and 3. Up the backstretch they go. Ruffner in front by 1.75 now. Fairweather Sailor trying to keep pace in 2nd. Catch and Release at the rail is 3rd. Passiano 2.5 off the pace in 4th. There goes Inner City, threading his way through rivals now. Big Sky Chester joins him on the far outside. Then French Wine. Felon has 5 to make up. He's gearing up now. Then Kafai Ham coming on for the back, and Dr. Trotter bunching up around the far turn. 6 furlongs and 11 flat. Ruffner still there by 3/4. Inner City gearing up to take him on. Big Sky Chester, Fairweather Sailor, Catch and Release on the inside. Kafai Ham searching for a seam to come through now in the stretch drive. Inner City, a burst of speed, is up to take the lead a furlong out. Kafai Ham coming through between horses. Big Sky Chester, then it's Ruffner and Catch and Release, but it's Inner City drawing away. Inner City clear, and Inner City and Corey Black to win the Turf Paradise Breeders' Cup. Won it by better than 2. Kafai Ham was 2nd, and Big Sky Chester 3rd.
Inner City and Corey Black come in from Southern California, get the money in the Turf Paradise Breeders' Cup handicap. Copy Home finishing in the 2nd spot. Big Sky Chester, the local horse, finishes on the board again there in Phoenix and gets the show money. Inner City goes his mile 16th on the Turf Paradise grass in 1:42 flat. All right, later on in the afternoon, the 9th race was the Turf Paradise Derby for our 3-year-olds. Mile and a 16th the distance, $75,000, the guaranteed purse on this year's Derby at Turf Paradise. Again is Luke Krybosh with the call.
Off and running in the Turf Paradise Derby. It's a slow start for that's using the old bean. Reforce hustled away to grab the lead early. Dance to the finish, came away 2nd. Big Red Tox on the inside, racing 3rd. Current Agenda settling down in 4th. 9 Mile Creek is next. White Hot fanned out 6 deep around the first turn. Brent's Pal saving every inch of ground at the rail. In behind that, Crown Chris is 7 lengths off the pacemaker. A gap of 2 back to Ian Tyson. It's 3 farther back to Highest Bright. Then comes See a Native, and that's using the old bean at the back of the pack. Wheeling to the backstretch. A quick first quarter, rattled off in 22 and 4. Reforce and Don Frazier out there now by 5. Big Red Tox 2nd. Dance to the finish is 3rd. Crown Chris tugging hard on the inside, racing in 4th. Current Agenda 5th. White Hot gaining ground on the far outside. Brent's Pal is 9 lengths off the pacemaker at this point. Then 9 Mile Creek, Ian Tyson. It's a gap of 4 back to that's using the old bean, who starts to pick it up for the back of the pack. Then comes See a Native and Highest Bright, half mile, 45 and 4. Still a very fast tempo here for Reforce, who's shortening stride now. He'll be tackled first by White Hot, and White Hot coming quickly 2nd. Crown Chris charging up from 3rd. Big Red Tox on the inside. That's using the old bean, stoking up a rally on the far outside. Ian Tyson coming with him, and Brent's Pal at the rail in the stretch drive. White Hot turns for home in front by 1. Crown Chris 2nd. That's using the old bean on the far outside. Brent's Pal coming on, and Ian Tyson furlong to go now. White Hot full 44. That's using the old bean coming fast. Ian Tyson and Crown Chris inside the final 16th. White Hot holding on grimly. That's using the old bean. White Hot, that's using the old bean. Can't get him. White Hot wins the Turf Paradise Derby. That's using the old bean. A neck back in second, and Ian Tyson was third.
White Hot. Danny Sorensen in the irons gets the money a half length to the good. He is sent off at 7-2 by the folks at Phoenix on Saturday. That's using the old bean, finished in the second spot. Ian Tyson got the third position there. White Hot goes his mile 16th on the main track in Arizona Saturday and won 44-2. All right, from Phoenix, let's go up to Northern California. San Mateo, Bay Meadows had the Brown Bess on Saturday afternoon, a mile and a 16th grass race for our older fillies and mares. Purses $100,000 guaranteed monies. In Northern California is Paul Allen with the call.
And there. Racing in the Brown Bess cast, broken a line. Traces of Gold and Anti-Spend go right off to the lead. Traces of Gold to the inside of Anti-Spend with 1 lap to go. Then it's Not a Gold Brick, Day Jules, Princess Callie, Real Connection, and Swiss Steel can see them all. 1 lap to go in the Brown Bess. Traces of Gold and Anti-Spend are setting the pace. It's pretty reasonable, too. It's about 4 lengths back to Not a Gold Brick in third. Then it's another 2 to Day Jules, who is covering Princess Callie. Real Connection still second last, beating only Swiss Steel. They go up the Bay Meadows backstretch in the feature, and Traces of Gold leads the way by a neck. Anti-Spend is right there in second, and they are 3 lengths clear from Not a Gold Brick. Then it's a length and a half back to Day Jules. Real Connection's on the move. She's now 6 from the lead. Princess Callie is second last and 7 clear from Swiss Steel. Less than a half mile to go. Traces of Gold edges away by a length. Anti-Spend is in second and being shown the stick. The favorite Anti-Spend is losing ground. Not a Gold Brick just put her in third. Then it's Day Jules, Real Connection, Princess Callie, and Swiss Steel. 3 furlongs to go, and you better get going to catch Traces of Gold. She's out to defend her Brown Bess title, and she's strong. Not a Gold Brick is second. Then it's Day Jules. Anti-Spend has gone back to last. Traces of Gold cuts the corner with the lead. Not a Gold Brick's running the race of her life, but can she get to Traces of Gold? Traces of Gold is shaken up by Bays, and she's clear in the Brown Bess. Not a Gold Brick is next. Then it's Princess Callie. Real Connection never got going. Traces of Gold goes back to back in the Brown Bess. She's the champion.
Traces of Gold gets the victory. She comes up from Southern California. Russell Muscle gets the mount and gets the money. Not a Gold Brick finishing in the place position. Princess Callie gets the show money. Traces of Gold, she goes the mile 16th on the Bay Meadows lawn in a minute 44-2. All right, let's take our second break here. When we come out the break, we'll take a look at Santa Anita. On Saturday afternoon, we had 3-year-olds sprinting. Then we've got the conclusion of the La Cañada for our 4-year-old fillies on Sunday. We'll go to New York and take a look at 3-year-old colts and fillies on Saturday and Sunday, respectively. We'll get into our notes department and update you on the 1997 dual qualifiers just released this past week as we work our way toward that first Saturday in May. A lot more to come. Don't go away. Be right back after this.
Capital OTB, in conjunction with Track Data Systems of California, announce a new development on the World Wide Web. It's free. It's entries, odds, and results online with a virtual tote board. It's a real-time odds board. You receive free up-to-the-minute odds, entries, and results from any track Capital OTB is handling. To use this service free of charge, you must be a Capital OTB Phonobet account holder. Capital OTB offers 3 types of Phonobet account: an agent-operated system, automated touch-tone system, and a VIP account. Opening an account is quick and simple by calling 1-800-292-BETS. That's 1-800-292-BETS. Or visit Capital OTB's site at http://www.capitalotb.com.
Okay, it's Santa Anita, Saturday afternoon. 3-year-olds turning back sprinting now in the San Vicente after we ran the Santa Catalina for you on last week's program. Now we've got the 7 furlongs of the San Vicente. We've got a purse on the race of $100,000 in added monies. Let's take a look. Here's Trevor with the call of the San Vicente.
Heel for the San Vicente, sent on their way to a perfect beginning. The centre of the track, Red, is very fast into stride. Now here comes Fun on the Run, the grey on the inside. Photark in the gold colours is third. Extreme outside is Latin Dancer. At the rails, Silver Charm now kicks through to take that third spot, being followed by Stolen Gold in the red cap. Freehouse is the grey, racing 7th. Closing in now, only 3 lengths off those leaders. Freehouse making a big run at them early on. Then a gap of 5 back to Esteemed Friend and Celtic Warrior last. Past a half-mile they go, and Fun on the Run, a length and a half in front. Red is in second, and Freehouse has tugged his way right up to third. Silver Charm tucked in at the rail, 4th, 2 lengths off the leaders. Latin Dancer racing 5th. Photark now having to be asked to keep up. Stolen Gold is 6 off the leaders, 2 back to Esteemed Friend, and Celtic Warrior last by 8. They approach in the quarter pole, and Fun on the Run, still full of run out here. Fun on the Run, kicking on for home. Red is second. Silver Charm now comes to prove the danger down at the rail. Heads a turn for home. Fun on the Run. Red on the outside. Silver Charm catching stride for stride at the rail, and Silver Charm now hitting the front. Fun on the Run trying to battle back. A 16th to go, and Silver Charm, Freehouse with a late run on the outside, but Silver Charm's done enough to win. Silver Charm wins the San Vicente.
Silver Charm. I think you're going to be hearing this guy's name a little bit more as we go along this late winter into spring. Chris McCarron in the irons gets the length and a half score. 3 in a row for Silver Charm. Won the Del Mar Futurity. Bob Baffert is the trainer of record for Silver Charm. Sent off at 5-2. And gets the job done coming up the rail there in a good-looking effort. Freehouse finishing in the 2nd spot. Fun on the Run gets the show money. Silver Charm goes the 7 furlongs. A nice time, minute 21 seconds flat. All right, on Sunday afternoon at Santa Anita, we had the conclusion of the La Cañada series for our 4-year-old fillies. Started off with the La Brea, went to the El Encino, and now concludes with the La Cañada itself. So both series now for the 4-year-olds, Colts and 4-year-old fillies, have been wrapped up. The Strube we had, of course, on the program last week, concluding that series. This is a good one for the gals. They're at 1 mile and a furlong, $200,000. The added purse on the race. Here's Trevor with the call.
Heel for the La Cañada, sent on their way. Bell's Flag bounces out the inside gate and takes the early lead. The grey listening immediately up to take her on, though. And Chili Chatty in the gold colours going through to join the leaders, too. Cole Con on the extreme outside, and Christopher Street settles down 5th, 4 off the leaders. The pace is decent. Then we come back to Hauser Dancer back 3rd last at the rail. Tuxedo Junction and Solana is last. 8 lengths would cover them all. They run past the 7/8 pole, and Bell's Flag. Ears just pricking back and forth now, going along a sensible pace. They're not flying but not crawling either. Bell's Flag a half in front. Chili Chatty's keeping the pressure on her. Listening is content to race 4 lengths behind this leading pair in 3rd. And then there's a big gap of 5 back to Cole Con. Christopher Street and Hauser Dancer is giving them 10 lengths start. It's another 3 lengths back to Tuxedo Junction, having to be asked to keep up. And the trailer Solana's a good 18 off the lead. They have a half-mile to go in the La Cañada, and Bell's Flag still on a long rein out here, going along smartly, leads a half a length. Chili Chatty's keeping her company, and Listening's getting a little closer in 3rd now. Listening 2.5 off the leaders. A big gap of 6 to Hauser Dancer, Christopher Street, Cole Con in behind that, then Tuxedo Junction and Solana. Approaching the quarter pole, Bell's Flag at the rail, Chili Chatty, then comes Listening, and now Hauser Dancer coming with a big run. We down to 4. At the top of the lane, Bell's Flag kicking on gamely. Bell's Flag hugs the rail, then goes for home. Hauser Dancer, the only one got a chance of getting to her. Bell's Flag clear by 4. Hauser Dancer chasing gamely in the centre of the track, but Bell's Flag is all heart on the lead. She won't give in the towel. And Bell's Flag, a tenacious winner of the La Cañada.
Well, she was second in La Brea, and she comes back here with a resounding score in the El Encino and an even more impressive score here in the La Cañada. Sent off the 6-5 favorite and gets the job done in style. Daryl Vienna trains this very nice daughter of Avenue of Flags. She's now 6 out of 8 lifetime. Chili Chatter finishing in the second spot. How's a Dancer, third place finisher, listening, just chucked it in the stretch and winds up well beaten. I only think she beat one horse in a terrible effort. Perhaps there'll be a word forthcoming out of Ronsbahn onto any problem that she might have had. Bell's Flag didn't have any problems. Bella, Bella, beautiful Bella. Bell's Flag gets the mile and a furlong Sunday at the Great Race Place in a minute 48 and 1. All right, from Santa Anita back to New York. Check on Saturday's Whirlaway Stakes for our 3-year-olds. They're going a mile and a 16th, $50,000. The added purse on this year's Whirlaway. The snow was coming down in the metropolitan area on Saturday. Made for a very picturesque scene, didn't it? Here's the call with John Dooley in the announce booth.
And they're off. Center of the pack, Balanced Budget has come out fast. Boddin's Flash is there. Concerto toward the rail. Regal Chant is coming up, and Hoxie showing speed, but wide into that first turn. And they're stacked 5 across the track. Concerto comes through inside of Boddin's Flash. Balanced Budget 3 wide. Hoxie is farthest out into the track. Regal Chant now settles in 5th. Real Star 5 from the lead. Brown saving 6th. Linked back then to Valid Direction, and Irv is in 8th. 23-second flat opening quarter. They head down the backstretch, and Hoxie just in front there of Balanced Budget, and Concerto now running down at the rail, third by 4. Boddin's Flash in 4th, then Real Star, 5 from the lead with a half mile to go. Regal Chant is running on the far outside. Valid Direction and Irv still at the back of the pack. The half mile went in 46 and 3, just over 3 furlongs to go. And Concerto now comes through to put ahead in front. On the outside is Hoxie, and Balanced Budget battling way between 3-year-olds. Then still 4 more lengths back to Regal Chant running in 4th. Real Star still 5 from the front as they come past the quarter pole. 6 furlongs went in 1:11 and 3, and it's Concerto who cuts the corner in front. Hoxie and Balanced Budget still 5 lengths back to Regal Chant, not doing enough, and Irv launching a bid from the back of the pack. They're in the final furlong. Concerto clear by 2.5. Balanced Budget, Hoxie still battling. Regal Chant with a late bid toward the rail. Irv is flying late, down toward the line. Concerto, Regal Chant, Irv, Concerto wins. Concerto by a length. Then tight between Irv and Regal Chant.
Concerto in snowflakes, if you will. Carlos Marquez in the irons gets the victory here. Not a bad 3-year-old at all. Horse is on the wrong lead going through the stretch, so what? He wins off here by a length. The even money favorite, 3-year-old son of Chief's Crown, won the Kentucky Jockey Club last year as a 2-year-old. John Tamaro trains this horse for George Steinbrenner. Concerto winning the Whirlaway. Dead heat for second there between Irv and Regal Chant as they are both inside and outside of Concerto's flank as they hit the wire. Stewards couldn't separate them on the line, so we dead heat them for the place spot. Concerto goes his mile and the 16th in a minute 44 seconds flat. Sunday we had 3-year-old fillies going postward in the Dearly Precious. They're sprinting 3/4 of a mile. It's a $50,000 added race. Again, John Dooley describing it for us.
And they're off. Don't fear the heat. There goes Our Dear Ruth, and here comes Meteor Cap up and after the lead as they head up the backstretch. Meteor Cap to a short lead. Our Dear Ruth roused to stay with her through these first furlongs. Parlay now running 3rd, Golden Apple 4th, then Don't Fear the Heat. Valid Effect is 7 from the lead at the half-mile pole, and Prospect Lee runs down inside in behind of Golden Apple and will lead a way through from there. The opening quarter went in 22-1. The end of the far turn, just over 3 furlongs to go. Meteor Cap by a length to Our Dear Ruth. Parlay now coming up 3 wide with that Gold Cap. Then 4 more lengths back to Don't Fear the Heat. Golden Apple is down inside as they come toward the quarter pole. And it's Meteor Cap and Parlay. The 2 favorites face off at the top of the stretch. The half went in 45-4, coming down toward the final furlong, and Parlay is now in front. Parlay by 4. Valid Effect now has taken over second. Meteor Cap has weakened. Golden Apple and Don't Fear the Heat. Last 16th, Richard Migliori all over Parlay. Valid Effect running late down the outside. Here's the line. Parlay holds. Parlay by a half length. Valid Effect was second by 5, and Don't Fear the Heat was third.
Parlay, a Mount Livermore 3-year-old, just got beat last time a neck in an allowance race after a bit of a layoff. She probably used that race, a little bit in need of the race, as a tightener, and now comes back here and gets a length victory in the Dearly Precious. The MiG having a very fine winter season in New York on board for the score. Valid Effect won the Ruthless earlier on this winter, then threw in a clunker in an allowance race, comes back and runs pretty good here to get the second spot, trained by Dickie Schosberg. Don't Fear the Heat finishing in the third position, but it's Parlay getting the victory in 1-11-1. All right, on Wednesday afternoon, as we go back down to Gulfstream for their usual midweek feature, the Very One handicap at the Marathon 1 3/8 distance, schedule on the grass, purse on the Very One, $75,000 in guaranteed money for our fillies and mares. Again, to Hallandale and Tom Durkin's call of the race.
And they're off. Chris's Diamond heading for the early lead. Tocopila and Miss Carleona down inside. Tocopila takes early lead. It's Tocopila in front. Chris's Diamond in hand running in second, and Miss Carleona backs off on the inside third. Beirut has come out running in fourth. Ms. Mosley is fifth, and the favorite Ampula is hard held, restrained at the back of the pack as they head for the stretch for the first time. Tocopila is the early leader. Chris's Diamond on the outside, sitting just in behind the front runners. Miss Carleona drafting in behind horses. Ampula's down inside. Then in between horses, Beirut and Ms. Mosley in the clear on the far outside. Tocopila setting the pace here, and the pace is soft. 25 flat for the opening quarter mile. And the half goes in 50 seconds flat. Soft pace over firm going. And it's Tocopila in front. Chris's Diamond on the outside. Miss Carleona toward the inside. Following her, Ampula. Ms. Mosley on the far outside, and Beirut. The slow pace continues as they head into the backstretch. No challengers for Tocopila, who remains in control and in hand while on the lead. Chris's Diamond in no hurry to go by. She's under restraint as well. Miss Carleona's enjoyed a beautiful trip in behind the slow pace. Down inside, Beirut is in between horses. Ms. Mosley and Ampula, the favorite, continues to trail the field. She's been last throughout, but relatively close to the lead, only 5.5 lengths from the front. Field moving into the far turn. Tocopila still in front. Tocopila remains the leader. Chris's Diamond still glued to her second. On the outside, Beirut. Miss Carleona toward the inside. Shane Sillers makes a move with Ampula, guided to the outside now in Ms. Mosley. Midway round the far turn. Cadence quickening now. Tocopila still the one to get, though. Chris's Diamond running in second. Beirut is on the outside. Ampula and Miss Carleona on the fence. At the top of the stretch, it's Tocopila the leader as they come to the 8th pole. Ampula kicking in. Down inside, it's Miss Carleona. They still have to get to Tocopila. Tocopila will be tough to catch the leader by a length. Ampula full out running in second. Miss Carleona coming up empty, and they're coming down to the finish. And under a shrewd ride by Brian Peck, Tocopila.
Well, Tom called this one right. Brian Peck on board Tocopila put everyone to sleep as he just lulled them through soft early fractions and had plenty left for the stretch kick to win off by 2 Wednesday's Very One down in Hallandale at 11-1. Ding, a little Wednesday hit for you of $24.60. on Tocopila. Even money favorite Ampula, nothing much he could do as she finishes second there and have just too much to do in the late going. Beirut finished up in the third spot. Tocopelia, Brian Peck, mile and 3/8, 2:14 and 1. Alrighty, that takes care of all of the replay actions right up through Wednesday, our usual midweek feature from Gulfstream for you. Now, into our notes department and taking a look at our schedule for this week and another one of our Monday holidays as we celebrate President's Week, our third week in February here. We've got several races from Gulfstream, as you would expect. The Gulfstream Park Breeders' Cup race on the grass will be run. The Deputy Minister, a nice sprint for our older horses. The Lord Avey on the grass for our 3-year-olds. In Maryland, they have their two big winter sprints, the Barbara Fritchie for the gals and the General George for the boys. That's Saturday and Monday, respectively. At Oaklawn Park, we'll be looking at the Essex Handicap for our older horses, the Pippin Stakes, and the Martha Washington for the 3-year-old fillies. In New Orleans, we've got the Panzeretta and the Whirlaway. Turfway Park, hopefully, will be running this weekend, and we'll get in the President's Stakes for us. Out on the West Coast at Santa Anita, we look for the Las Virgenes Stakes for our 3-year-old fillies, the Santa Maria Handicap for the fillies and mares, and that is scheduled to be the 97 debut of Jewel Princess. So all of our Eclipse stars that are going to return to the races for another season of competition are getting back into action. Look for Jewel Princess in the Santa Maria. We also have a marathon turfer out there, the San Luis Obispo. Back in New York for the 3-day holiday period, we'll be looking at the Sporting Plate Sprint for our older horses, the Rare Treat for the Distaffers, and the Stymie Handicap at a routed ground for our older horses as well. So President's Weekend around the country, always a very nice midwinter interlude with plenty of good stakes racing action abounding for your pleasure. Okay, now, as we do every year, and it gets, I don't know if it gets more controversial as the years go on, because the people that are against it seem to be more and more adamant that it's fluky, and the people that are for it seem to be more and more adamant that it just continues to be accurate. We've got our 1997 lineup of dual qualifiers. We'll take a look at them. There you see the first 6, and starts right off the top, of course, with Boston Harbor, weighted in at 126 pounds, our champ from last year. And, of course, as you know, you have to have the proper dosage index of 4 or less and be weighted within 10 pounds of the experimental high weight as a 2-year-old, which Boston Harbor was there at 126. So 10-pound spread will get us all the way down to 116 pounders, as we'll see in a moment. So Boston Harbor already having run, of course, in the Santa Catalina. Ordway already having run down in South Florida in the Hutchinson. Trader, we're waiting for him to get going. Blazing Sword, as you see there, he won a race, an allowance race this past weekend down in South Florida, so he's gotten going. Swift's Yodeler came up a cropper in that speed duel in the Santa Catalina last week. Silver Charm, we just saw him win the San Vicente. He's a dosage dual qualifier. Now we look at our second page. Gold Tribute from D. Wayne's barn is getting ready to make his 3-year-old debut out in Southern California in an allowance race. Hello, who I'll tell you right now, I'm giving very strong consideration for this early on in the season. Won the Santa Catalina, and it was a turf horse turned to dirt for Ron McAnally. Stolen Gold, who didn't do all that too terrifically in that Santa Catalina. Jules, we're waiting for this one to get rolling. The Silver Move, who is suffering from a bruised foot which turned into a blind quarter crack. They've got that all patched up, and we expect to see him back in action before too long. And then Cash Deposit rounds out our dual dozen this year. Cash Deposit has just been beating up on everything at the fairgrounds this winter. So there you see our 1997 Derby dual qualifiers. And let me refresh you from last year. Grindstone, of course, was our Derby winner. He was dosage correct, but if you recall, he was not on the dual qualifiers list. So the people that are against it say, aha, see, it doesn't work. But remember, he was coupled in the wagering with Editor's Note last year, who was, of course, a dual qualifier. You can't get away from it, folks. It surrounds you. It's amazingly accurate stuff here. So, true to form, you have just seen our Derby winner in that 12 listed 3-year-olds. I know everybody's raving about this horse down in Pulpit, and people are, why don't you have him on the show? Why don't you have him on the show, Jack? Folks, he's just an allowance winner. If and when he wins a stake, Pulpit will be on Horses and Courses. Many horses are sudden phenoms in the young winters of their 3-year-old, in the early winters of their 3-year-old seasons, and then go kaput. So let's just let this horse run his races. He's in very capable hands with Frankie Brothers, and see what happens with Pulpit, as we'll see what happens with Wrightwood out on the West Coast for Dwayne. It's fun stuff, isn't it? Now, of course, we'll update you from time to time as some of these horses fall by the wayside on our list. Always a very popular, yet still controversial addition to the program every late winter and spring. Alrighty, that puts a capper on things for this week. Hope you enjoyed the program. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you're going to enjoy your President's weekend this coming weekend. And as always, stay tuned right here to your OTB TV radio network station, where you get the most complete coverage in thoroughbred racing. Until next week, Jack Wolfesita here. So long, everybody. Happy President's Day.